This story right here is a very wild and interesting one, but there's going to be, I guess you can say, more questions that would need to be answered from a certain element concerning this story. So, in this image, you have three individuals. On the far left, you have a man by the name of Mario Cercello Rega, and in the two images right there that's next to him, you see two people by the name of Gabriel Natal Horth. I probably messed up his name. He's 18, and the other one's name is Finnegan Lee Elder. And basically, these two guys on the far right were on a trip to Italy. They're from the States. They were on a trip to Italy, and in a botched deal gone wrong, they ended up killing this man who was an Italian police officer. They said they stabbed him 11 times. And they are currently right over in Italy right now where they deserve to be. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read this article so we can get some more context behind it. An Italian policeman who was allegedly killed by two teenage American tourists was stabbed 11 times with a knife carried into Italy from the United States, according to police in Rome. I'm trying to figure out this. Who was the TSA that day? And how in the world were they able to get that knife onto the plane and travel all the way from the States to Italy? We're talking about they're crossing the ocean. They're going into another hemisphere. They're going into another time zone. And they were able to get a knife that was purchased here on it to that plane. Somebody at that airport got some explaining to do. General Francesco Gargaro of the Provincial Carabinieri Command said the weapon was brought to the country by a 19-year-old suspect, Finnegan Lee Elder. Gargaro added that some of the wounds sustained by the fallen officer Mario Cercello Rega were very big, 17 centimeters, 7 inches deep, the length of the blade. Rega was killed Friday in Rome shortly after returning to work from his honeymoon. The 35-year-old was attempting to recover a backpack allegedly stolen by Elder and Gabriel Natal Horth, age 18, after a botched drug deal, said officers. So they went all the way over to Italy to do some drug dealing. Notice that these two are not black, because you know they love to associate drug dealers with us. What? Speaking of that, where is what's his face? Former governor LaPiece of shit. You know, the one that said D Money and Swifty coming up the Maine to deal drugs and get with white women. Meanwhile, these two went overseas and tried to do some drug dealing, and it became a botched deal, and they ended up killing somebody, a cop at that. Police say that Elder confessed in the early hours of the interrogation on Friday to the killing. Meanwhile, Rega's funeral was held in his hometown of Somma Vasaviana near Naples on Monday. His casket was draped with the Italian flag as it was carried into the same church where he was married less than 2 months ago. Deputy Prime Minister Matteo Salvini, who has called for life prison sentences for the accused teens, attended the services. Let them spend it over there, because I'm almost certain they are going to destroy them in that Italian jail. The officer's death has gripped Italy. The story is leading many of its newspaper headlines, and hundreds of people gathered outside the church to pay their respects. The incident unfolded after the two U.S. citizens approached a man about buying drugs. After being sold crushed aspirin instead of cocaine, officers alleged that the American stole a backpack off the man. The teenager subsequently answered the owner's cell phone, which they had also taken, and told him they would not return the backpack without 100 euros or 111 US dollars and 1 gram of cocaine. The owner of the stolen bag then contacted the police, and the two unarmed plainclothes officers met the American suspects under the guise of retrieving it. Both Americans are accused of assaulting the policemen, who reportedly identified themselves as law enforcement officers during the meeting early on Friday morning. Elder is accused of stabbing Rega 11 times before fleeing the scene. The two Americans were arrested Friday evening inside their hotel room close to the scene of the stabbing. They are accused of aggravated murder and attempted extortion. At the hotel room, police said they found the weapon hidden in a ceiling panel, as well as the clothes worn during the crime. Elder recognized the knife police say is the murder weapon as his own. The two suspects have turned on each other, according to those documents. The teenagers accuse each other of reciprocally, and their stories are absolutely in contrast with one another. They also add that Horth's testimony is closer to the police versions of events. Elder is accused of the stabbing, though both are being held on suspicion of murder. Over the weekend, the police alleged that both Americans confessed to taking part in the assault and say Elder confessed in early hours of the interrogation on Friday to murder. According to the court documents, Elder had not understood that the two men that approached him were police officers. Elder's appointed public prosecutor, Francesco Codini, said that during his court appearance Saturday, his client maintained his right to remain silent in front of a judge. Elder's family said in a statement on Monday that the U.S. consul in Rome was allowed to briefly visit Elder. We continue to gather facts about his case through his legal representatives. Meanwhile, we are grateful that he has been provided medical care. The family said it plans to go to Rome soon. As always, our hearts go out to the family and friends of Officer Rega, who has suffered an unimaginable loss. Elder's father, Ethan Elder, spoke briefly with CNN outside his San Francisco home Sunday and called his son's case a precarious situation. Ethan Elder says he wants people to know his son is a good man. Hold on. There's nothing good about somebody who goes overseas to get drugs, then end up robbing somebody, and then assaulting somebody else, and then stabbing somebody 11 times, killing them. There's no good there. I know that his dad is being on code, but I'm going to need some of these parents to live in reality and realize that they have raised some badasses. I mean, let's just be real here. Your son is wicked, and he's most likely going to be spending a good amount of his life in an Italian jail. The suspects have also raised questions over a leaked photo that appears to show one of the American suspects blindfolded at a police station in Rome. The photograph was leaked to the respected Italian newspaper Corriere della Sera. I probably messed all of that up. Suspect Horth's lawyer Emiliano Sassini confirmed to CNN that his client was the blindfolded suspect in the chair. He does not know how long Horth was blindfolded for, but said the incident took place before his interrogation. Italian police have confirmed the authenticity of the photo and told CNN that a two-pronged investigation has been launched into why the suspect was blindfolded and who leaked the photo into the press. The General Command of the Carabinieri Police strongly distances itself from the photo and the distribution of the photo of the people detained for the homicide of Officer Mario Ceriello Rega. The Provincial Carabinieri Command of Rome is quickly carrying out investigations to locate who was responsible. Salvini commented on the blindfolded photo Sunday, saying in a statement, "To those complaining about the blindfolding of the arrested, remember that the only victim to cry for is the man, the son, the husband, who was 35 years old, the Carabinieri officer, a servant of a homeland who died in service at the hands of two people who, if guilty, deserve only life imprisonment." The day before, Salvini had called for lifelong prison sentences for the accused teens, despite them not having put on trial. Now, see, I can get with their system over there. See how quickly and swiftly they want them to be in jail without them even having a trial? Had that happened over here, they would have dragged that thing out and tried their best to try to get them off. And you know they would have. That's why I've always said that it seems like the police systems around the world are way better than the ones in America. And it's crazy because America has one of the highest prison populations, if not the highest prison population in the world. I'm willing to bet that many people over there who are jailed in those countries are in jail for the crimes they actually did commit, and they probably don't slip up and say, oh, this person's been in jail for so many years, and it turns out that evidence has proven that they were actually innocent the entire time. I swear, I think that only happens in the establishment known as the United States of America. Hoping that the murderers of our poor policemen will never get out of prison, I remind that do-gooders that in the United States, whoever kills the risk the death penalty. That's basically their warning. If you from the States, don't you come over there and try to start nothing. They said if you are from the States and you come over here and you do what they did, you run the risk of the death penalty. I'm not saying we should go that far, but life in prison obviously working. This, yes, Salvini wrote in a message on Twitter on Saturday. To those two, I feel absolutely nothing. I mean, you know, do with them what they must. Hey, they're very lucky that they're not in North or South Korea, because you know what happened to Otto Warmbier. All he did was mess with a banner. Just imagine if they went over there and killed somebody or killed a policeman. Ooh, they would destroy them physically and mentally, probably more physically though. You saw what they did to that boy or to that guy. But you know, I wonder, is 45 going to say anything about this? This happened under his watch. They are a product of America and he is the president. So I wonder if he's going to do that, because he's sticking his neck out for ASAP Rocky, who he did not know up until what, like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3. So this should be very interesting. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I will talk to you in the next one.